Hi there everyone, welcome along to Betfair's preview of round 10 of the NRL. I'm Mathew Thompson. Tim Gilbert joins me again. It's Heritage Round this weekend.
Yeah, nostalgia, don't you love it? I remember going to Cumberland Oval as a kid with Dad and seeing the great Parramatta sides and travelling to Henson and travelling to Redfern and Leichhardt.
You didn't burn the joint down, did you?
No, nothing to do with that, nothing to do with that. I could always be seen eating a Dagwood dog watching the great Parramatta sides run around, but yeah, love a bit of nostalgia.
I love a Dagwood dog. Well, we should talk about the games to come this weekend because part of Heritage Round means that some of the great clubs that have forged a great rivalry over the years meet, and there's some cracking games this weekend as well. We'll start on Friday, hey? We've got the Panthers against the Sharks, two teams that came into the competition on the same year, of course. The Panthers pronounced favourites $1.47 against the poor old Sharkies, who are $2.66 and are now into $2.80 with Betfair to take out the wooden spoon.
Yeah, I actually like the Panthers here, obviously, at home against the Sharks. The Sharks are mixing their form a bit. I know they haven't won many games, but they've played better in some. I don't know whether they've got the ammo to beat Penrith, the Panthers for me.
Yeah, me too as well. They're the Panthers to win. Now, the Clash of Queensland here, not a rivalry forged over a number of years, because the Titans, of course, have only been in the comp for a couple of years in their latest state anyway, but the Broncos $1.40 against the Titans. There's injury clouds over Prince. I think Luke Bailey's in doubt as well, and maybe Matt Rogers. So if they're out, then the Titans have probably no chance, are they?
I like the Broncos. They were beaten last week after getting out to a big lead over Manly, and I don't think Ivan Henjak will allow that to happen again. It's the local derby that everyone loves up in Queensland. You'll get a massive crowd. I think the Brisbane Broncos here, brother.
Broncos to win. Dragons versus the Bulldogs. This is the game of the round, isn't it? One of them. There's two real standout games this weekend. I can't wait for this. At Cogra, the Dragons $1.66. The Bulldogs outsiders, despite the irresistible form at $2.38, I reckon this is going to be a cracking game.
Yeah, the Cogra's looking wonderful too. I can't wait for this. I'm going to this game. I can't go past the Dragons. I know they lost to North Queensland last weekend, but some of those players just had a horror trip. They had to leave Orange the following morning and make their way up to Townsville, and they only narrowly got beaten by North Queensland. The Dogs are going wonderfully. They had a bye last week. I just think the Dragons will get them here.
Yeah, the Dragons at Cog are always so hard to toss, but I'd give the Bulldogs a real life chance of possibly winning
Wouldn't
this.
surprise anybody.
Just on that rep stuff last week too, the Dragons had to make the trip from Orange to Townsville, and some of them played in the Test match as well. So why wouldn't we play the City Country game on a Thursday?
Well, you're an ideas man. That's why they call you the ideas man. You need to table that.
I will.
Okay.
Is there a 2020 summit coming up for the league?
But
Kevin
remembering Luke O'Donnell had to do that horror trip from Orange, and Jonathan Thurston played in the Test match.
Very good. We're solving all the problems here. The Roosters up against the Knights in what could be a pretty tight game this, I reckon. The Roosters $2.30 outsiders. The Knights, they're going sensational.
Yeah, they are. And there's probably no reason to pick the Roosters here apart from a gut feeling. I think the Roosters may just get the Knights. They're at home. Yet the Roosters to beat the Knights.
I reckon the Knights are a banker this weekend.
Okay.
I'm going to go with them again. I know that they're not at home, and on the road maybe they're not quite the force, but I just think the consistency they're showing at the moment is outstanding. I think they'll win. So made some changes to the halves there as well. Rogers comes into play at 5'8", and Giroux goes back to the bench. So Mullen into halfback. So we'll see how that works out. The Warriors against the Cowboys. $1.52 favourites at home. The Warriors. The Cowboys $2.54 outsiders. I think the Warriors will be too good at home here again.
Yeah, well, the Cowboys, we're talking about the Sharks mixing their form. The Cowboys have been hot and cold, haven't they? They were awful against Parramatta, then last week they were outstanding. It depends a lot on the attitude and form of Jonathan Thurston, and when I say attitude, I mean his confidence, because he had enormous confidence last week, and he had a ripping game, didn't he? He had two great games. If he plays that well, they're a chance North Queensland, but you've got to pick the Warriors, I would think, at home. Yep,
absolutely. I agree with you there. Now, the Seagulls versus the Eels. We'll fast forward to Sunday here, and the two real traditional rivalries. Manly against Parramatta. They hate each other. Manly, heavily backed in early trading with Betfair into $1.49 already. And the Eels, no one wants to borrow them at Brookie, $2.84.
Yeah, well, Parramatta had a good win the other week, but I can't go past Manly at home, particularly showing the mettle that they did to come back and beat the Broncos. Yeah, Fortress Brookvale could be rebuilt this weekend, the Seagulls to beat the Eels.
Yep, I think that's the case as well. We're agreeing too much. Now, this one, I can't wait to head to the SCG on Sunday. The Tigers, proud partners of Betfair, of course. They take on the Rabbitohs. Heritage Round, two of the great clubs. The Tigers favourites at the moment at $1.68. The Rabbitohs $2.34 outsiders. I don't reckon there's anything in this at all, is there?
Yeah, no, I don't think so at all. I think this could even go to Golden Point. I've picked a few Golden Point games so far this year.
Wouldn't that be great? Golden Point at the SCG.
Golden Point, isn't the SCG just an absolutely wonderful place to go? I love the whole precinct. I think the Rabbits might nudge out here as close as the Tigers will get. They aren't in the 8, the Rabbitohs are in the 8. Tim Sheen's made that point clear the other day. Michael Crocker starting for the Rabbitohs. I think they might just get home.
All right. Well, I don't even know who to tip here. I'll tip a draw. There you go.
Yeah, okay.
We'll come up with a draw after Golden Point. I'll sit on the fence. I don't normally sit on the fence, but I really cannot pick a winner here.
Draw after Golden Point. I've got Chrissy Sando kicking a field goal in the 9th minute of Golden Point.
All right, there you go.
Right.
We'll go with the draw there. I can't possibly tip against the Tigers, but I love the way the Rabbitohs are playing with Crocker in there as well. And Monday night, the Storm up against the Raiders. They head to Olympic Park there, Canberra, $1.28 Melbourne. $4.10 Canberra, unwanted. And I just reckon the Storm are going okay. In fact, they've been back into favouritism to win the premiership with Betfair this week at $6.80, ahead of the Dragons and also the other team that's involved in there. I've completely slipped my mind. The other team up there in betting, of course, the Bulldogs as well, into about $9. So punters want to be with the Storm here.
Yeah, and I've got to be with them on that one. I don't think the Raiders have been travelling all that well, and particularly when they're away from home, the Storm.
Yep. There you go. Well done. All right, well, we've agreed on a lot here. What's the only one we don't agree on? I don't know. Except the draw.
What's your best bet? I think we've gone... I think I've contrasted your best bet, haven't I? You like the Knights.
No, not my best bet. My best bet this weekend would probably be Manly to beat Parramatta.
Yeah, my best bet for Storm to beat the Raiders.
All right then, betfair.com's the place to go. Have a great weekend. Heritage Round, so if you're an old footy head like we are, you'll probably enjoy it.
Yeah, enjoy your football.